There is literally no way you haven't seen Kansas City come up on your radar in the last few weeks, because frankly, it's a fantastic city. I'm going to give you 10 reasons why it's a great place to move coming up. I'm Maura Coleman, Kansas City real estate agent. I've got my sidekick Glennis back here keeping an eye out on things while I'm sharing my top 10. Well, it might not be all of my top 10. I've got so many good reasons why I love Kansas City and why this is becoming an impressive city and area to move to. I've had many clients in the last, several years, and really in the last year, who are moving here from out of state. And Kansas City has so many benefits and so many great things, and it's just getting better and better. Now, these are in no particular order, but what I'm going to start with is kind of one of the unique things about Kansas City. We border on 2 states. So when you hear Kansas City, most people who are moving here will just say Kansas City. They might say Kansas City, Missouri. They might say Kansas City, Kansas, but probably they're going to say Kansas City. And here's why. So here's the map. This Kansas City borders on the Kansas and the Missouri side. Kansas City, Missouri is kind of where all of the sports teams are. It's kind of where all the local nightlife is. It's where some of the historical areas are, monuments, museums. It's really where the fun stuff is. Kansas City, Missouri side does have some suburbs that are wonderful, little bedroom communities that are great to raise families with good school districts. The Midtown is wonderful as well. I've got so many videos that I'll put a few links up here so you can kind of see some of those neighborhoods. But that's on the Missouri side. The Kansas side, we have Kansas City, Kansas, which is a very old city. And then we also have the suburbs of Kansas City, which are also on the Kansas side. Those comprise of bunches of little towns, municipalities. Each has their own mayor. We have wonderful school districts on the Kansas side. And that's sometimes the reason why people choose to move to and live on the Kansas side, is because of these great school districts and some of the suburban perks that the Kansas side has. But Kansas City in a whole is you'll have some arguments about which side is better, Kansas side or the Missouri side, and it's kind of entertaining for those of us who have lived here all our lives. Kansas City keeps coming up as one of the most affordable places to live in the United States. We have 2.6 unemployment rate, which is pretty impressive, and we have lots of opportunities for working and jobs. There are many headquarters, world headquarters and national headquarters in Kansas City, including Hallmark cards, actually the whole Hallmark division. Commerce Bank is here, H&R Block is here. One of my favorites, Russell Stover's, because, chocolate. There's lots and lots of job opportunities and really great cost of living, Midwestern cost of living in Kansas City. Plus we have lots of the big city perks as well. Number 3 are our sports teams. If you're a sports fan at all, you're going to love Kansas City. I dare you to say that you missed the excitement that we had this last winter with the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl and the Chiefs Parade, which was the second one in 4 years. Pretty amazing, and the city has really come together and just really adores our Chiefs. The Royals won the World Series several years ago, and I got to take my family to that Royals parade, and that was pretty amazing and really wonderfully celebrated as well. We have Sporting KC. We will be hosting the World Cup in a couple years, which is a really big deal, and we're super excited in Kansas City to do that. We also have the first stadium going in for the KC Current, which is the women's soccer team, and that's pretty awesome. There's pickleball all over our city with great little locations to do that. Lots of youth sports. Kansas City loves their sports, and we support our sports quite a bit. If you don't love sports, like I could kind of I don't know, it's still exciting and it's still fun to follow all the sports teams in Kansas City. Glennis is going to share with you our number 4. We have pretty convenient transportation. Kansas City, you do pretty much need a car. Unless you live downtown and you're able to walk to work or take the streetcar, you probably are going to need a car in the city. But we do have, and we're growing, some really great public transportation. They put the streetcar in quite a few years ago, and that runs from Union Station all the way down to City Market or River Market, and it's expanding, and it's going to go all the way to hopefully UMKC, the plaza. It's just growing and growing, and we're really excited about watching the streetcar expand and touching more parts of Kansas City. We have a pretty good bus line and a bus route that is affordable and a great way to get around Kansas City. And one of the things I'm really excited about, which will be opening in just a few weeks, is our brand new international airport. It's state of the art. It's going to be gorgeous. I've seen a few videos of people going through it. I'm going to be taking a trip soon, and I will get to be leaving out of the new airport, and I'm just really kind of beside myself to imagine how convenient that's going to be, and how well run, and just really pretty easy to get around. It will also bring more flights to Kansas City, which will make traveling easier and more efficient, and hopefully a little bit cheaper. Kansas City has a lot of educational opportunities. There are lots of places that you can go back to school, start school, get a second degree, finish a degree. We really have a lot of opportunities to better yourself with education, whether that's community colleges or universities. Some of the ones that popped up in my search that I know that are particularly wonderful are UMKC, which has a fantastic biology, medicine, marketing, and computer science degree. Rockhurst University, which is a private Jesuit college connected. We do also have Rockhurst High School, but those are two different things. That's a wonderful private college. Avila has a wonderful nursing degree and some good business technical schools as well. Metropolitan and other community colleges. On the Kansas side, there's Johnson County Community College. You can get lots of trade certifications, associate's degrees, and just different types of training in all those community college, which is a wonderful and affordable way to further your career here in Kansas City. And you can't forget the Kansas City Art Institute, which is a very well-known and very well-respected art school right next to the Nelson Atkins and the Kemper Art Museum in Midtown. Once you move to Kansas City, you're going to have family and friends visiting, and we have some fantastic museums. Kansas City is home to the American Jazz Museum, and this is something that we're really proud of, and it continues to build down on in the Jazz District, and really wonderful jazz came out of Kansas City. And at some point, I'd love to talk to you about jazz clubs around here as well, because there are some really fabulous places that you can hit some good jazz. But the Kansas City Jazz Museum is really wonderful. We have the World War I Memorial and Museum, which really showcases the history of World War I. It overlooks the Union Station in downtown Kansas City, and it's really a beautiful monument. Also inside Union Station, we have Science City, which is for kids and young adults, and it's really well put together science museum. It's extremely fun. And I have done other videos about our art museums. We have a world-renowned Nelson Atkins Museum of Art, which has a modern side and a traditional side with some ancient art, as well as the Kemper Art Museum. I'll put some links to those videos as well. Lots of beautiful art in Kansas City. Number 7, we are the city of fountains. Have you heard this before? There are so many fountains in Kansas City, and we look forward to the spring when they get opened up and the water starts pulsing through them again, and they have such a beautiful sound and attract so many visitors, and we get to celebrate with different colors that happen in the fountains, and they're just really lovely. One of my favorites is the one that is in the plaza that we call the Horse Fountain, and it's really a big, beautiful, gorgeous landmark, which also has a park. Most of the fountains have parks nearby, and is a great place to gather and meet friends and just enjoy the outside. Number 8, Kansas City is really great for families. There's so much to do with your family in Kansas City, no matter what ages you are. Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun are our theme parks, are kind of, if you like roller coasters, Worlds of Fun has some amazing ones. Oceans of Fun is the water park, and lots of great water slides and pools, and a great way to cool off in our hot Kansas City summers. We have a wonderful zoo, Kansas City Zoo, which is down by Swope Park. Swope Park also has some really fantastic hiking and lots of other activities that you can do at Swope Park. That's also where the Starlight Theater is. If you don't like the big zoo and you have little ones, Deanna Rose Petting Zoo was really my favorite place to go with my little ones. That's on the Kansas side in Overland Park, and I'll put a link here as well for you to check that out. Lots of great animals, lots of walking, some really great exhibits for the young ones, and it's a great place to go take your family. And of course, down in Crown Center, we have our own Legoland and aquarium. I'm on number 9, and we can't really talk about Kansas City without its fine art scene. We really have some amazing artists in Kansas City, and this is kind of my area of love and passion, and so I just couldn't help not including it. We have the Kansas City Symphony, a world-class, amazing symphonic orchestra. One of my buyers actually plays the bass in the Kansas City Symphony, and they are fantastic. They play in the Kaufman Center. They also play around in different places in Kansas City. They have a mobile symphony that goes into parks in the summer that I love to get to go visit. Kansas City Ballet is world renowned as well. They're also in the Kaufman Center, which is a beautiful theater, and they do the Nutcracker every year with lots of community involvement, and the ballet is really spectacular. The symphony plays for the ballet as well, so you get, that's a 2-for-1 whammy when you get to see them both. Starlight Theater is, I mentioned that a little bit, it's in Swope Park, and they bring lots of musicals and bands and musicians of all kinds. And you can actually, well, at least you could back in the day. I've shot a few weddings at Starlight Theater, and it's a really beautiful venue for that, as well as a great place to see some local talent outside. One more of my favorite things in Kansas City to do is the First Fridays, which is in the Crossroads. So the First Fridays is an opportunity for local artists to show their work in small galleries. It's the first Friday of every month, and it's really a great opportunity to get outside, get some street food, or go to a restaurant somewhere, have happy hour, and then just wander from gallery to gallery and enjoy the artwork in Kansas City. And I can't not include the jazz scene in the fine arts of Kansas City. We have the most fantastic jazz. Some of my favorite clubs are the Green Lady Lounge, and I recently went to the Reno Club and got to see one of my favorites, jazz artists, and sing and dance, and had dinner, and it was spectacular. So you can't talk about the arts without including the jazz, and I need to do a video just about Kansas City jazz. And number 10 reasons why Kansas City is the next place you should probably move to is our food. We have good food. I would bet that you've heard about our barbecue. It's pretty famous, and it's pretty much everywhere, and it's very delicious, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds of barbecue that you can get in Kansas City. But we also have really sophisticated other kinds of food as well, and we're known for just having good fusion, good creative, good Midwestern fare, and some of my favorites, actually my favorite barbecue is Joe's KC would probably be my favorite. Jack Stack's wonderful, Gates, Q39, but some of the best non-barbecue, Waldo Thai is one of my favorites. They've actually opened another one, which is like a Thai barbecue, which is unbelievable. Extra Virgin down in kind of downtown Midtown. Corvino won some major awards recently. At La Bodega, which is down in kind of Southwest Boulevard area, is a Spanish tapas place. And that's definitely one of my favorites that I love to take friends to when they come visit. Or just, they have a really great tapas happy hour. So those were 10 of my favorite things about Kansas City. I could keep going on and on and on, and maybe I'll do another 10 in a few weeks. Let me know in the comments what are your favorites and what I need to include next time. Thanks for watching.